Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us here at the Charlotte Curling Club for the semifinals of the Southern Mixed Doubles Cashspiel. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Adam Pelletier, and I'm commentating for you today. We're glad you joined us. We have some exciting semifinal matchup action underway in this World Curling Tour Mixed Doubles event. Over on sheet D, our featured sheet, we have Brianna Weldon and Sean Franey out of the Denver Club throwing the Red Rocks, taking on Emily Schweitzer and Blake Hagberg out of Chaska, Minnesota, throwing the Yellow Rocks. And we're going to jump right in on the action here on our featured sheet. We got rolling a little earlier than planned, folks, but this just means you get to enjoy curling action earlier than expected. Chaska started out throwing the Yellow Rocks here. They started off through first rocks, and Red has hammer to get started. And right now we got Schweitzer and Hagberg sitting in the shot rock position, right on the button there, right on that white circle, half in the white circle, half in the red 4-foot. That's the house right there, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you new to curling, the house is that big bullseye painted on the ice. The rings are not point values, it's just closest to the middle. So we've got Hagberg in the hack now, delivering for the Chaska, Minnesota team. Hagberg coming down the left-hand side here. Looks like he's going to try to draw across and plug up that hole, covering up his shot rock. With Red throwing first, Yellow's just trying to steal points here. And they have a nice angle here. The sweep is on. Both sweepers on it. Schweitzer and Hagberg working together in a coordination, bringing it in, bringing it in. They're going to go a little deeper than they might have wanted with that guard, but it looks like they're going to get a free. Oh, no. They weren't throwing a guard. They were throwing what's called a freeze, folks. So with that freeze, what they want to do, they want to put the rocks right next to each other. So that way, if you hit one, you can't get both the rocks. So right now, you see Brianna Weldon and Sean Franey out of Denver talking about it. You see Weldon down there setting the broom. What they're going to try to do is, it looks like they're going to try to bring their red rock with some force down into that pocket, we call it there, the gap between the yellow rock and the red rock. And what they're going to do there is they're going to come in with a good bit of force, and Franey is going to try to clear the yellow rocks out of there. If he comes with enough force, he can get both of these yellow rocks. It's going to be working pretty much down that center line with a slight right-hand turn. Franey out of the hack like a maniac. Good throw by Franey. The line is good. The weight is up. Let's see if it can deliver. That looks good. Gonna get 1 and 2. Wasn't aiming for the pocket. Caught the outside corner, but that clears both those yellows out. Franey blowing the entire thing up there. As Schweitzer and Hagberg talking about what to do next, whether they want to try to draw down to that red rock. It looks like they might be trying to come down and hit that red rock that's currently sitting shot, as Hagberg glides back into the hack to prep for his next shot. Over on sheet A, we'll keep you updated on it. We might jump over there if the action gets particularly exciting. We have Cynthia Smith and DJ Johnson of the Denver Club throwing the Red Rocks, taking on Gloria Chow and Anthony Fowler out of Eggsmoor Curling Club, which is in Chicago, Illinois, throwing the Yellow Rocks. Folks, this is our semifinal matchup here at the Southern Mixed Doubles Cashspiel. This is the best of the best here, folks. This is a World Curling Tour event. There are Grand Prix points at stake, as we see Hagberg deliver his stone down the ice, working left to right, going to try to tap and just get a little bit of a roll off of that. Good hit, roll. Doesn't quite get the roll that he was hoping for. I think he was trying to bring it over. You can see at the top of your screen there, those two yellow rocks. Those are what we call guard rocks. So what Hagberg was trying to do was hit off that red rock and roll behind the yellow rock high, so that way he could be covered up and protected. Didn't quite get the roll that he might have been hoping for, but we are on the way. So Franey steps in to throw his rock. Franey delivers his. Good slide by Franey. Coming heavy again. Franey bringing another takeout weight. Looking for a little bit of curl from right to left. Needs to get it around that guard. He has it around the guard. He's onto the yellow rock. Big hit. Clearing everything out as Franey and Weldon just want to clear everything out of there. And they might be going for a blank end here, ladies and gentlemen. in mixed doubles. Folks, I apologize. I'm relatively new to mixed doubles, and I'm learning that you can't throw a blank end in mixed doubles. I'm being told that they don't, that you can, but you just don't want to. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. This is my biggest exposure to mixed doubles curling yet. I am not an avid mixed doubles player, and the rules. You don't keep the hammer, I'm being told by our resident expert, Brady Gold. So, um, folks, mixed doubles is a little bit different from normal curling as opposed to a full team of four. You have a team of two, one man, one woman. You only throw five total rocks. You start with a rock set in play. One team, the team with hammer, starts with a rock in a shot scoring position, and you trade rocks from there. One partner throws the first and fifth, the other partner throws the second, third, and fourth. As we see Emily Schweitzer delivering her final rock right now, coming down. Looks like she's just drawn right down, trying to draw down behind that guard rock as Hagberg's going to try to push it and get it buried, going to bring it as deep as it'll go. Will it finish behind the guard? He gets it a little covered up, but not as much as he wants to. So Weldon and Franey are talking about this one, what they want to do. They're looking at coming in down and hitting it. They're just talking about where they want to hit it because they don't keep hammer even if they blank this end. As Weldon sliding back down the ice, this Denver team, 5-0 so far, has not lost a game on their way to this semifinal matchup. Been really dominant start to finish. Schweitzer and Hagberg have taken a little bit of a rockier road. They're 4-2 right now. They had to come up through what we call the qualifiers or tiebreakers, meaning they were tied with a team at the end of pool play. They had to battle last night. They had to battle this morning in the quarterfinals, and now they are here in this semifinal matchup. That's the duo from Chaska, Minnesota, throwing the yellow rocks. As Brianna Weldon settles in to deliver her final stone. Good slide by Weldon coming down that center line. Looks like she's going to try to work left to right. Looks like she's got plenty of space to get around the guard, but she's going to sweep it to keep it on line just to be sure. Around the guard, trying to catch it. Catches it, rolls it. And that's going to be one red right there for Weldon and Franey, as Weldon and Franey take just one with hammer. Schweitzer and Hagberg now have the hammer as we head into the second end. And over on sheet A, we have Gloria Chow delivering her last rock for the yellow team. That team out of Exmoor in Chicago, Illinois, of Gloria Chow and Anthony Fowler, also had a slightly longer road. They're 5-1 so far. But they did have to come through the qualifiers as they were tied at the end of pool play. They had to come through the qualifiers, the quarterfinals, and now into the semifinals. So we're getting set here for the second end. As you can see, Hagberg and Franey setting up the rocks in the near end. Yellow will have the hammer coming back. That's Schweitzer and Hagberg. Schweitzer and Hagberg are going to have hammer coming back down this way as Brianna Weldon settles in for the Denver club. We'll see what Weldon does here. A typical opening shot is going to involve drawing around the guard and just trying to get inside of that first placed rock. And what you do by that is if you draw it just right, you're inside, you're right on top of it, and it's very difficult to remove your shot rock from on top of the set rock. Weldon delivers. Franey's on it, sweeping heavily, trying to keep it on line, trying to get it around that high guard. Plenty of good space. It's starting to move though as Franey dials back the sweep a little bit, just cleaning, likes the line. Weldon likes the weight. Franey thinking, just going to let it coast on in. Great shot by Weldon. That is a perfect shot by Weldon, right on top, tucked on top of that yellow rock. Leaves them sitting one early and gives them a great advantage, as it's very difficult for Schweitzer. It's going to be difficult for Schweitzer and Hagberg to get around the guard and get to that rock to clear it out. As over on A, Chow and Fowler look like they scored one Over on sheet A, good end for Chow and Fowler, the duo out of Exmoor. As we see this next shot being delivered, another great shot. Emily Schweitzer just comes right around the guard and perfectly replaces the red rock there, and also pushes it out a little bit to where later in the end there might be a possibility to hit it and clear it out and leave themselves in a position scoring more, as Weldon and Franey are discussing what their options are now coming back down the ice. They have some space. They can come around both sides. They could try to throw the draw again and keep opening things up. We'll see what Franey wants to do. We saw Franey throw some very good hits and takeouts on his last in the last end. We'll see if they want to continue with that plan here. It's Franey and Weldon settling in. Franey in the hack, contemplating sliding now, delivering, coming down that left-hand side. Looks like he wants to work from left to right on your screen. Good line by Franey. Weldon's with it, just cleaning the ice, making sure it doesn't pick anything up. Good line. Weldon's on it now ferociously, trying to keep it off that guard. She might have gotten on it just a second too late. We'll see. Maybe they were just trying to guard things up a little bit more, as that shot opens things up just a little bit without clearing the guards out, still leaves them playable. There is a port to come down between those two rocks, but it's very narrow. It's probably a stone and a half at best. Difficult avenue to come down, but it is possible. It is makeable, especially for teams competing at this high level in the semifinals now of the Southern Mixed Doubles Cashspiel. It's Hagberg and Schweitzer discussing, deliberating. The duo out of Chaska deliberating on what to do. They're talking, and it looks like they're going to come back down with another draw as Schweitzer comes down to make sure she's with it to sweep it. A lot of times when you see teams throwing a draw, you'll see both members of the team back on the throwing end of the ice. So that way, the person throwing the rock can monitor the line while the other partner can come down with it and sweep it. So we'll see what Hagberg and Schweitzer do here as Hagberg settles in and prepares for his second stone. Hagberg coming down the right side, wants to work right to left around behind that guard. As Schweitzer's on it early, Hagberg's on it. Both team members sweeping now, sweeping vigorously. They look like they want to try to draw around that guard, and I don't know if it's going to have enough. That's going to be a high guard. Might be a little bit higher than they were planning on. Might not be. Well, that might have been what they were aiming for, actually, folks. I apologize on the missed call there. What they did there is they blocked up the guards. So now that they've blocked up the guards up top, it's harder for Weldon and Franey to use those rocks to tap out for what we call a tap back or a promote. So what Weldon and Franey might have been thinking about doing is using that red rock towards the center to hit and drive it back onto the shot rock, drive the shot rock on out. As Weldon and Franey now talking about what to do, preparing. Good shot by Schweitzer and Hagberg to block things up and make it a little more complicated. Right now, they're in the early stages of this match. Both teams are going to try to create complex, complicated positions, make it more challenging for their opponents to try to score, give them difficult shots with small margins for error, and put the pressure on. This is what you're trying to do here. You're trying to put yourself in a situation where you can be successful, but also where your opponents have to make the best possible shot. As Franey going to work right to left, looks like it's coming with a little bit more weight, potentially a draw here. Weldon's on it with the sweep, trying to keep it around that guard. Good sweep by Weldon, good line by Franey. Let's see if it's going to finish how they want it to do. Weldon on it, good sweep by Weldon, bringing it. Doesn't look like it's going to finish with quite enough. I think they wanted that one a little deeper towards the button, but still workable right there, as it offers a chance for a promote down onto the shot rock and also guards up and blocks up that avenue for Schweitzer and Hagberg, making it a difficult path for them to score multiple points in this end, as they have Hammer. Hammer is the last rock of the end, folks. You're typically trying to score multiple points when you have the hammer, and so what Weldon and Franey might have been trying to do is they're going to say, we're going to give up the 1 point in this end, and then we're going to bring the hammer back in the next end and score even more points. So So let's see what Hagberg does. Hagberg settling in. Hagberg, the lefty, comes down, delivers coming down that left-hand side. Going to work left to right. Hugging that center line close. Good shot by Hagberg. Looks like he wants to try to find that port there. That's going to be tough. Hagberg's on it now, sweeping. Maybe they weren't trying to find the drop port. Just tapping things up a little bit more, just further complicating this position, adding to the complexity, adding to the difficulty. The level of difficulty right now and the level of precision on these shots is immense as more rocks are in play and the line of guards is ever expanding upward and outward, which makes the angles that teams have to take that much more challenging. We'll see what Franny and Weldon do here, as they could try to come down, tap their red rock on the blue and white rings in. They do have a nice angle to do that. The problem is it's going to be difficult. They have an angle, but it is a challenging angle, as if they miss it in the wrong way, the red rock's just going to go spinning out and not do anything productive. So Weldon and Franny discussing as Franny steps in to deliver his final stone of this end. Sean Franny delivers here, going to work left to right across that center line. Coming down, going a little wider this time. Let's see, that might be headed for that draw port. He might have found it, folks. That weight looks good. The line looks nice. Weldon sweeping, trying to push it. Onto the guard stone. The guard stone coming back now, as they weren't going for the guard port. It looks like they were going to tap it back. Good throw by Franny. Just maybe needed a little bit more to tap things back a little bit more, but now they can do that. Weldon can do that same shot with her last rock, and if she throws it on the money, she can tap everything back and put red in a big scoring position. We'll see what Schweitzer and Hagberg does here, as looking over at sheet A, we have a complicated position with Chow and Fowler discussing what they want to do, as it looks like they might be sitting close to shot. There's 4 rocks right inside the 4-foot. Complex situation going on over there on A. But we're going to stay here with Schweitzer and Hagberg. Hagberg into the hack, delivering his final stone. Hagberg looking like he's going to work right to left here, coming down the ice. Schweitzer and Hagberg with it, thinking about sweeping. They're both on it now. Good hard sweep by both members of the team. Schweitzer and Hagberg working in coordination. Good strong sweep, trying to block up that promotion for Weldon and Franny. And it looks like they've done it. Good rock to block up and prevent the promotion. And that is looks like Schweitzer and Hagberg are going to be pretty happy with one here, unless Weldon and Franny can come up with something here. And they might have a shot. It's a very complex shot, but they're going to come down. If you can look at your screen, folks, on the right-hand side, you see the top-down view. They might have a shot coming down the right-hand side there to hit that red rock on the outside and tap it back into the top red. But it would require precision to hit everything just right to send that yellow rock spinning. Instead, what it looks like they're talking about doing is looking if they have space to come through that very narrow port with some weight to do the same thing and clear that yellow rock out. Because if they can get that yellow rock out and keep their red rock around, they could turn this 1-point yellow score into a 3-point red score. And it's a difficult shot here for Weldon and Franny. Weldon and Franny trying to just keep Schweitzer and Hagberg from scoring multiple here. It looks like they've kind of resigned themselves to conceding one. Or let's see if they come down here. Franny with the broom right on the rock, given the target there on the left-hand side. Let's see where they go here. Weldon in the hack. Weldon slides out decisively. Good slide by Weldon. Good release. The rock is on its way. Let's see. Moving left to right here. Going to try to hit. Yep, they're going to try to hit and just keep everything kind of in there. What a shot by Weldon. Pinballing in. Good shot by Weldon. Pinballing in, just kind of clearing a few things out. We'll see what Schweitzer and Hagberg do now. It looks like they're talking about trying to come down and draw in there and just try to outdraw and outcount working from right to left. This is going to be a wide sweeping draw shot from right to left. A draw shot is where they're throwing a little bit less weight, throwing it a little lighter, and they want it to move a lot at the end there. We'll see if they can find the angle and find the ice to come on down in and score, because they really just need to outcount that top red one, and they can leave this end with 2 points, which would be a major bonus for the duo out of Chaska, Minnesota. As Schweitzer settling in here into the hack, angling the line, getting ready. Schweitzer to deliver for two. Let's see if she can pull it off here. Out of the hack, working her way. Taking a wide line like we talked about. Hagberg's on it, folks. We haven't been out here yet this wide, so the reason why Hagberg's on it isn't that he thinks it's light. It's that he has to sweep it to keep the weight moving in a good way, and just a little too narrow. No, not too narrow. What a shot by Schweitzer. It lost its handle, though. There, it must have just caught a little bit. Well, that's going to be one for the duo from Chaska, Minnesota. Good shot. Good shot by Schweitzer. Just lost its curl at the end there and didn't finish the way she was hoping it was going to finish. So that's going to take us to the third end now, as Weldon and Franey now are going to have Hammer. Folks, we want to take a second as we get set here to thank one of our sponsors here at the Charlotte Curling Club, My Dentists. The dental team at My Dentist is eager to help you and your family achieve optimal oral health and is dedicated to helping you improve your smile. My Dentists are proud to provide comfortable, painless dental care to all of their patients, offering both cosmetic and restorative dentistry. Whether you are in need of a simple cleaning or a complex treatment, the team at My Dentist can meet your needs to restore your oral health. With nearly 300 five-star reviews, come find out why Charlotte curlers love My Dentist. Contact them at mydentist.org. That's mydentists.org. Or call to book your appointment today at 704 375 8577. Folks, we're heading into the third end here on our featured game on Sheet D. Weldon and Franey, the duo out of Denver, 5-0 so far in play, trying to punch their ticket to the championship round with Hammer, tied at 1 with Emily Schweitzer and Blake Hagberg, the team out of Chaska, Minnesota, who had a slightly tougher road, 4-2 record coming in, had to work their way up through the tiebreakers and qualifiers. As you see, Emily Schweitzer's first shot coming down the left-hand side here, trying to work left to right. Gonna finish right at the top of the 12-foot blue circle there. Good shot by Schweitzer. What that shot does is it starts setting up and is going to force Weldon and Franey to work from right to left, a side they haven't worked down as much. There's been less play down that right side. A little bit more challenging drawing. What Schweitzer and Hagberg might be hoping for is that with that less experience coming down that right side, they can then come down that right side and successfully draw in and set themselves up for points here. Weldon and Franey do have Hammer this end, so they are going to be throwing last rock as Weldon working down that right to left side, hugging the wheelchair line right there on the ice. That's the center line is the center line, and the blue lines on either side of it are the wheelchair line. Good throw by Weldon. Franey sweeping furiously. Needs to get it around the guard. He does. He has it. Great sweep by Franey. Good line by Weldon, as that's going to finish right on the button. What a shot by Weldon there. What a sweep by Franey. She was undaunted by that less known right side line. Phenomenal shot by Weldon here with her first to put red in a two spot for scoring. Blake Hagberg settling into the hack now, the lefty out of Chaska, Minnesota, contemplating which way they're going to come. They might try to follow down on that right side. Hagberg gonna follow down on that right-hand side, confidently strides out of the hack, working down about that same line that that Weldon and Franey just came down. Good Schweitzer on for a sweep, a little less for a sweep. Might need to get on it. She needs to make sure it gets around that guard. It's going to get around. It is clear. Good shot by Hagberg. Gets around, comes down, taps, taps, but Hagberg just might have been a little bit too much there coming down the right side. As what happened was he's trying to work his way down the right side there and settle into that pocket there between the two redstones, but he just threw it a little too heavy, so it tapped and just kind of spun out, and now it's sitting out there at the back of the 8 foot. Sean Franey settling in here for his first rock coming down the ice in this third end. Folks, over on sheet A, Chow and Fowler out of the Exmoor Club in Chicago, Illinois, now up 2-0, heading in the third end on Cynthia Smith and DJ Johnson, the duo out of Denver. Chow and Fowler 5-1 on the day, but up right now 2-0 on the undefeated Smith and Johnson as Franey delivers his second stone coming, or first stone coming down the right hand side. Good throw by Franey coming down that same line. Both teams now feel like they have the line and the weight coming down that right hand side as Franey piles in for the third red rock. Three rocks in for Franey and Weldon now starting to pile the rocks in here, looking for a big end as Hagberg and Schweitzer thinking about what they need to do as Hagberg settles in to throw his second stone coming down the ice. As Hagberg and Schweitzer might be coming down to try to clear some rocks out here as the guard zone, as the no takeout rule is no longer in effect. But it looks like he's going to come down and try to draw, trying to find that draw weight. Came down a little bit too heavy last time. Good line by Hagberg, working from right to left. Doesn't quite bring enough but Hagberg manages to sit that yellow rock in for second. Let's see what Franey and Weldon come back down and do. That yellow rock that Hagberg just threw sitting out there a little bit. It is a gettable rock. Franey and Weldon might be looking to come down here, hug that guard, and try to clear that yellow rock out. It's going to be challenging, though, because of the position. Looking at it from the booth up here, folks, looking down the ice, you can see a lot of it, but you can't come with a lot of weight to hit it. Otherwise, you risk clearing out a lot of your rocks. And indeed, it looks like Franey is going to come with a little bit lighter touch here, working from right to left. Franey throwing that draw coming down from right to left. Franey, good line coming down, working right to left. Gonna try to get over to the left side of that yellow rock. It looks like he might succeed. That's gonna be close. Good shot by Franey. Doesn't quite move as much as he was hoping it was going to. As Hagberg and Schweitzer talking it over, they're currently conceding one, but they're looking at what they might have for options, and it looks like they might have an option to use that yellow rock up top to try to come down and take out that red rock that's currently sitting shot. And there's enough backing there. There's a lot of backing there, and that looks like what it's going to be. We could have an exciting run back here for Hagberg and Schweitzer. Hagberg Hagberg coming down, working down the left side. He's going to try to catch the outside of that yellow rock. He's going to try to catch that yellow rock just left of center and send it directly into that red rock and clear a lot of those red rocks out. Let's see what kind of weight as Hagberg comes out. Strong stride out. Hagberg releasing, delivering, working left to right. Maybe not as heavy as I thought it was going to come. Let's see, working left to right here. Hagberg left that one a little wider than he might have wanted to. Not sure if they were throwing that one away or if Hagberg just caught a line and a ridge that he didn't know was there. That's a little wider coming down the left side than we've been so far. as Weldon and Franey coming back down the ice now, looking like they want to try to tap that red rock into that yellow rock and try to split things up. Franey and Weldon sitting with a lot of rocks in the forefoot, but that yellow rock that that Hagberg threw 2 stones ago, really giving them trouble. Or, yeah, 2 stones ago. They need to clear that out, and they're set up for a big end. So let's see what Franey does here. Gonna try to work right to left to try to just tap that yellow one back a little bit more. Franey slides out, coming down the ice here. Nice touch on the rock, good line. They're very familiar with this right to left line coming around that high guard. Franey, good line. Weldon's on it, trying to keep it around that guard. Good sweep by Weldon. Can she hold it? Can she hold it? She gets it around, maybe ticks just a little bit. It might have just clipped the guard and didn't finish the way they thought it would. Just finishes at the top there. So let's see what Hagberg and Schweitzer do coming back down. Talking about what they're going to do. They might try to come down that left hand side now. Schweitzer getting ready to throw her last rock. Let's see what Schweitzer does here. Looks like they want to work left to right. We'll see. We'll see if they're trying to do that hit and come in. It looks like that's the line they're going to try to do. They're going to try to tap their yellow rock back and try for a 2 point end. Difficult shot. We saw Hagberg throw this on his last rock, and it just hung out there a little bit too far. Schweitzer looks like she's taking a slightly narrower line, but they're talking about it. They might be audibling here. Hagberg's coming down as they're going to keep talking about it as they try to figure out what the line is. They might be looking for a stronger sweep here as Chow and Fowler are piling rocks in over on sheet A. Looks like they're currently sitting 3 on sheet A. Big potential big end for Chow and Fowler over on sheet A. Let's see what Schweitzer does here as she and Hagberg still deliberating on this complicated final shot for the yellow team. Tied at 1 here between Weldon and Franey out of Denver, taking on Schweitzer and Hagberg out of Chaska, Minnesota. As Schweitzer going to work from right to left here. They abandoned that tap back plan. Let's see Schweitzer. Looks like she's just trying to draw in, maybe try to tap some things up, or maybe just guard some things up. That actually looks like she might be trying to guard things up as Hagberg starting to sweep, making sure it gets across that line, trying to push it a little bit to the left. Hagberg sweeping down. And that's going to make that a little tougher. Didn't move as much as I think Schweitzer and Hagberg wanted it to. But now Franey and Weldon have a chance to come down and try to hit for big points as they're sitting all 5 of their rocks in play right around inside everything but that one yellow rock. If Franey and Weldon can come up with a way to clear out that yellow rock, they could be in for a big end, which would put them in the driver's seat here in this semifinal matchup. As Weldon and Franey contemplating it, they're talking about slashing in from the left. They're talking about coming down from the right. On the right side, they do have a port to come through. That guard by Schweitzer didn't move as much as I think they were planning on. And there is a nice wide port. The challenge, though, is the high guard on the right, the low guard on the left, which makes it very challenging to come down the middle there because you can't be too high there on the right. Let's see what Weldon does here with her final shot as she settles in to the hack. As Franey and Weldon look like they want to come down they want to come right down through there. Let's see what Weldon does here. Weldon working down that center line. Good weight by Weldon. It looks like they are going to try to tap and move some things around for big weight. Weldon on it, sweeping hard. She needs to keep it around that low guard. Oh no, she's going to try to crash into that low guard maybe. No, it looks like they just missed a little bit by Weldon. Tried to get in as that's going to be one red here in the third end, one for Weldon and Franey as we're just going in fits and starts here, piece by piece, one by one, building a game brick by brick as Weldon and Franey now are up 2-1 as we head into the fourth end here at the Southern Mixed Doubles Cashspiel quarter or semifinals. It's good end by Weldon and Franey. Both teams creating a complicated situation here. 2-1 for Weldon and Franey over Schweitzer and Hagberg. Thank you all for joining us here. Again, we're at the Charlotte Curling Club for the Southern Mixed Doubles Cashspiel. We're glad you decided to join us here at 11:30 on a Monday morning. We know there are a lot of things you could be doing, but coming off a holiday break, what else would you rather do than be sitting at your desk pretending to work and actually watching curling on the Charlotte YouTube feed? We're glad you're here. We're glad you joined us, and we have some great action here on our featured sheet D between between the team of Brianna Weldon and Sean Franey out of Denver taking on Emily Schweitzer and Blake Hagberg out of Chaska, Minnesota. Weldon and Franey currently up 2-1 as we start the fourth end. Schweitzer and Hagberg have Hammer coming back towards us here in the warm room and the booth in the fourth end as Franey and Schweitzer working from right to left, going to try to draw down and get on top of that first set stone. Good line by Weldon, good shot. Looks like it might not move as much as she was hoping it was going to, as it's now to the back of the house as both teams have thrown a lot of rocks down that right hand side, so that line is just going to get a little faster now as there's been more sweeping, more rocks that remove some of the resistance, and things are just going to move a little quicker as we have an interesting situation coming in here over on sheet A as we got a lot of rocks right around the house as Schweitzer delivers her first stone coming down. She's trying to come down that right side line, trying to draw behind the guard and pile in here as no one has taken multiple points here through three ends. We've just had three single ends as Schweitzer just tucks the rock right behind the guard, settles in, replaces her rock, but a little bit heavier than I think she was planning on, as she did tap her set rock back a little too far towards the back of the house. As we're going to jump over to A and check in here as we have a nice complex situation going on here. Looks like we've got Chow and Fowler currently up 2-0 throwing the yellow rock, sitting one, maybe one. We'll see. That's really close. Tough to tell from our angle. They have a better view as Smith and Johnson are bringing their hammer rock here, and tough to tell. It doesn't look like they have a shot to clear things out over here on sheet A, but we'll see. They might see something that we're struggling to see as Cynthia Smith delivers her final rock. Her partner DJ Johnson on the sweep. This Denver duo 5-0 undefeated so far, trailing 2-0 here to Chow and Fowler out of the Exmoor Curling Club out of Chicago, Illinois. Good shot by Smith, good sweep by Johnson. Looks like they're just going to try to tap things around just a little bit and try to get to two. And I think that's just going to be one red for Smith and Johnson. We'll wait for an official call there from the ice, but it does look like that's just going to be one for Smith and Johnson to make it a 2-1 game. So both our games now 2-1 heading into the fourth end. As we can jump back over to our featured sheet here on sheet D, as we've got the far side shot down so you can look down the ice at the hack. We're going to take it to the near overhead view as well. We've got yellow sitting one, Schweitzer and Hagberg sitting one here in the fourth end as Hagberg prepares to deliver his first rock coming down the ice. As he's coming down that right-hand side, the team's favoring that right-hand side draw now. Working down the outside wall. Hagberg, good shot, good movement. Let's see, can they bring it back? Hagberg on it now, sweeping. Looks like it might be a little lighter than he wanted it. Schweitzer on it now, too. Both sweepers working, melting the ice, furiously sweeping, trying to drag it in, getting it as far as it'll go. And they're just going to sit on top of that red rock, give a little bit of protection to their shot rock, trying to take one here for the duo from Chaska, Minnesota, as Weldon and Franey step in to start talking about that. It is confirmed over on sheet A, one for red to make it a 3-2 or a 2-1 game over there in the fourth end coming back. It's Franey and Weldon making the long walk down after they're strategizing here. Franey going to slide into the hack for his second rock. We'll see what the plan is here for the Denver team. Two Denver teams in our semifinals today, folks. And Weldon and Franey beat in the quarterfinals. Weldon and Franey beat the team of Allison and Allison out of the St. Louis Curling Club, putting them into the semifinals. Good win for them earlier today in the 8:30 draw. Those of you who were up got to witness that. Glad some of you watched that, but we're even more glad that more of you are here for the 11 o'clock as Franey and Weldon working on sweeping that, trying to come down left to right. Gonna finish high. Gonna try to just kind of open things up here with that rock. Maybe kind of set up a heavier guard structure there up top, a little wider, block things up a little bit, and just for Schweitzer and Hagberg to just take one here in the fourth end with hammer. So Hagberg and Schweitzer talking about what they can do. Hits are open now. Both teams could start to hit rocks if they wanted to. Hagberg and Schweitzer talking about what to do. Looks like they want to come down right to left. They do have a little bit of a port, but they might also be trying to hit this guard square and run it straight back and really open things up and create a much more open position on the ice. And it looks like they do. Hagberg looks like he wants to bring a lot of weight and hit that high guard. Schweitzer set up on the left side of the rock. We'll see where they drive this, what they drive this back into, and what happens in the ensuing collisions. Hagberg takes stock of the line as he gets set to settle in to the hack. Looks like they're going to work a little bit from left to right here, just the left of center there. Good slide by Hagberg, line right, rock on the way, good delivery. No sweep necessary as Hagberg looks like he's got it. Going to catch it on the left side and just open things up there. Wasn't trying to drive anything back, just trying to open things up there and provide some opportunity for a little bit more open play. As Weldon and Franey discussing what they're going to do coming down here on sheet D, they have some openings to work around. They have that center wide open, so they have some chances now to come down and try to put in some rocks and complicate the position, make it a little more challenging for Schweitzer and Hagberg to score in this fourth end. Franey and Weldon trying to expand their 2-1 lead here in the fourth end. As Franey and Weldon have talked about this one for a minute as they're headed back down now, settling into settling in. Franey delivering his third rock for Franey and Weldon. Or sorry, second rock for Franey here. Second rock for Franey coming down now. Franey and Weldon talking about what they want to do as they're just having a discussion here. This seems like a simple position just with the rock stacked one, but this is actually remarkably complex situation, and it is a challenging spot to come down. What do you do? Do you start clearing some things out? Do you try to draw around and come in for a scoring point now that that guard rock is out of play? As Franey looks like he wants to work right to left here. Franey coming down the right side here. Working right to left. Looks like Franny wants to try to draw down and just tap some things around in the center there lightly. Not nothing too hard. Weldon on it at the hog line. Good sweep by Weldon. She's trying to bring it as far as she can. Taps that high one. Taps their own back. Doesn't quite move everything maybe as much as they were looking to do, as Schweitzer and Hagberg now talking about what they're going to do. They're currently sitting one and trying to come up with a way to clear that rock off the inside of the 4 foot, and it looks like they might be looking to run their high yellow back into the right hand side of that red rock, and that would clear things out and certainly leave them sitting a lot of rocks in scoring position. This could be an opportunity for Schweitzer and Hagberg to really break this game open with a big end and have our first multi-point end. We'll see. Looks like they want to. Looks like they're talking about which angle to hit that yellow rock from, whether they want to come from the left or the right, because they really want to make sure that they catch the inside right of that red rock that's sitting second right now. Because if they catch it on the left side, it's going to go into their shot rock and then red sitting shot. So it looks like what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to come down, hit it just a little bit on the left side. They're going to try to work across the face of the rock, catch it just left of center, drive that red shot rock out, and roll their yellow rock into the other red rock and have their yellow rock stick around. I don't know that they're going to try to save the shooter right now. They might just let that go as Hagberg settles in to throw his second rock. Second rock here for Hagberg. My apologies, losing track of things. Let's see what Hagberg can do here. Settles in, delivers down the center line here. Hagberg needs to bring some weight, needs to work from right to left. Good throw by Hagberg. Is it gonna get across the face of the rock though? It moves, but not as much as he was hoping, as I think he was hoping for a little bit more movement there, as yellow is sitting shot, but they lost their big shot rock. So now Franey and Weldon talking about clearing that yellow rock that just came down, clearing it on out, and leave themselves sitting two. Franey and Weldon with an opportunity here in the fourth end. Let's see if they can hit this on top here. Going to be interesting as Weldon preparing. As Weldon and Franey heading back down the ice for Weldon's final rock. Weldon wants to hit this yellow and clear it out, have her rock stick around and leave two. And then just if Haggerty and Hagberg comes down, they can get one here. Let's see what Weldon does here with her final rock, trying to come down, with hammer. Let's see what Weldon does here in with her final stone as Weldon sets up, delivers, coming down that right side, working right to left, gonna try to clear that yellow shot rock out and leave red sitting two. Good line by Weldon. Franey, yellow. As Franey sweeping, trying to hold it in position, trying to make sure it catches it nose so the red rock stays. Good throw by Weldon. As Schweitzer and Hagberg are talking about trying to come across, working left to right here. It looks like they're going to try to catch off that inside rock, spin it into it, and clear both out. Let's see if they can make this shot happen. If they can get both of these rocks, they can sit for three, which would be a big bonus for them. But this is a very tricky shot to try to come right to left to catch and catch. They have to catch both rocks, and it looks like they're going to try to clear the right-hand red out with their shooter. This is going to require a lot of spin and a lot of movement and a lot of action. Schweitzer slides out here, working from right to left on your screens. Good shot by Schweitzer coming down. Wow, that moved a lot. I think that moved more than they were thinking, as that's going to catch one and slide on out, and that's going to be one for Franey and Weldon here, as Schweitzer just didn't quite have the line that she was hoping, as that gives Weldon and Franey a 3-1 lead in the fourth end now. So 3-1 now for Weldon and Franey here in heading into the fifth end. Didn't quite move as much as she was hoping it was, or it moved more than she was hoping it was going to. As we have the set, as we have the set rocks down at the other end, we're going to jump over to sheet A. Take a look at this as we're in our final two rocks here for Chow and Fowler taking on Smith and Johnson, as Smith and Johnson currently conceding two, gonna try to get at least one, if not both of these rocks out, as Cynthia Smith settling into the hack. Looks like they're gonna try to get at least the high one, maybe the back one as well. We'll see if she can make this shot happen, as Smith settles in, slides and delivers coming down that left side. Gonna try to work left to right here as her partner DJ Johnson goes out. Gonna try to sweep this one and keep it online. Johnson on it. Needs to have a good sweep here to keep it on position to clear that yellow rock out. Gets the one, not gonna get two. Perfect roll by Cynthia, or good roll by Cynthia Smith down to the shot rock position. I think that rolled a little bit further than she was hoping though, as that looks like it's open now, as Gloria Chow heading back down the ice, talking about what they want to do. She has a port there to work from right to left. She wants to keep the shooter here for a 2-point end. We'll see if she can make that happen, as we'll jump back over to our featured game here after this shot by Chow on sheet A, as Chow and Fowler currently up 2-1. Chow and Fowler currently up 2-1 and trying to add 2 points to their total here. As let's see what Gloria Chow can do, if she can come down and successfully hit and stay on that rock for a 2-point end here to wrap up the fourth end. Chow and Fowler battling through the qualifiers to get into this semifinal matchup. They battled through the qualifiers last night. They battled through the quarterfinals this morning to arrive here in the semifinals. In the quarterfinals, they took down the team of Levy and Levy out of the Detroit Curling Club to get here. They've had a tough challenge, a good road, and a good tournament and a good bonspiel so far for the duo out of the Exmoor Curling Club in Chicago, Illinois. As Fowler slides out, delivers, looks like she's going to work left to right as Fowler is on it, trying to work left to right here. Catches the guard though. Chow doesn't quite get what she wanted there, as that's going to tie it up, as Smith and Johnson steal one there in the fourth, as we're headed to the fifth and tied at 2. Chow and Fowler can't quite do enough to get on top of things there. So, as we're going to jump back over to our feature game on sheet D between Weldon and Franey. Weldon and Franey taking on Schweitzer and Hagberg. Schweitzer and Hagberg currently sitting 2 behind a wall of guards, as they're going to try to, looks like they might want to try to come down and add a fourth guard, really, to that set of guards just above the 12-foot. We'll see what Hagberg does here with his second stone, as Hagberg and Schweitzer have hammer here in the fourth end, and they look like they are setting up for a potentially big end, sitting 2 with nothing but guards up top. Hagberg delivers a guard here down the right side. Gonna try to fill that gap there. Good shot by Hagberg. Schweitzer and Hagberg on it, sweeping. Good sweep by Hagberg and Schweitzer. Let's see, can they just tap? They get a tap, they roll into perfect position, and there are four guard stones now sitting atop two yellow stones. Good shot there by Hagberg, making this a tricky spot for Weldon and Franey. As Franey and Weldon talking about this, as Weldon looks like setting the broom, they might try to come down and get both of these by running that yellow back. That might be the shot that they have, as that's just a little to the right. We'll know here in a minute with how Franey slides out of the hack. Let's see what he's going to do here as Franey settles into the hack, taking stock of the line, cleaning the bottom of the rock. Three rocks in, three to go. Let's see what Franey does here with yellow sitting two. As Franey winds and delivers, coming with all the gas. Yep, Franey's going to try to hit some stuff and really move some things around down here. Can he get there? Trying to work right to left on that rock. Good rock by Franey. Hits, and takes out the shot rock. Big shot by Franey to clear out two stones and leave yellow just sitting one here in the fourth end here, as Schweitzer and Hagberg getting ready to come back down the ice and figure out what they're going to do. If they're going to try to draw around, that's really all they can do here, is try to draw around and get behind all of these guard stones sitting atop the house. As Hagberg coming back down the ice. As Hagberg settles into the hack now, we'll see what they want to do here, but my guess would be they want to work right to left around those guards and try to put another rock in. Maybe put this a little higher above their yellow rock, so that way nope, they're going to work left to right here. Might be just trying to come down and sit a guard on top of those center red rocks and prevent Franey and Weldon from being able to just run a guard down. Nope, they're trying to draw around. Trying to draw around from left to right. Good rock by Hagberg. Needs it to come back, though. Might be a little wide, as out there on that far left, the rock isn't moving maybe as much as the teams would hope. It does finish in the house, but it is very high, and it is out there and exposed. We'll see what Franey and Weldon do here, as they could either run their own red rocks back, they could probably try to draw around from left to right there, or they could even try to hit off that high red rock and roll their rock back into a guarding position, or even try to run things back. But we'll see what Franny and Weldon want to do. But it looks like they want to try to hit the red rock back and clear out that yellow scoring rock. We'll see if Franny can do it. Tough to tell. It looks like they're going for that rock that's just about on the center line. Let's see what Franey does here as he settles in to deliver his final rock of this fifth end. As Sean Franey out of Denver, this Denver club currently sitting 5-0 in this tournament, hasn't lost a game yet, as Franey comes out with force and emphasis, working from left to right. Let's see if he can hit that center rock. He gets on it, he sweeps it, throws and sweeps his own stone. Good delivery by Franey. Hits just wide. Franey just didn't get it over to the right enough. Caught it just on the left side and opened up a hole here for Hagberg and Schweitzer to come down through. If they want, they could either plug that hole up, or they could try to work from right to left and draw down. They might try to set a guard here in almost a scoring position as well. They can come down and put a guard in that blue, touching that blue circle. It would be the third point for them, and it would also protect their shot rock. And it looks like they're talking about what they want to do, if they want to work right to left or left to right. As Schweitzer's coming down, looks like they're going to want to sweep this one, as Hagberg gets set to deliver his final rock of this fifth end, trailing 3-1 in the fifth end. Hagberg settling in, cleaning the bottom of the rock, just getting set, going through his pre-shot routine, getting ready. As let's see what he does here, if he tries to draw in 4 points or if he tries to guard it up or if he does some combination of both. But it looks like he's going to work right to left on your screen. It's Hagberg. Nope, he's working left to right, back across that center line. Hagberg with a good slide, good stride. Line is good. It needs to move a bit, working left to right if they're going to try to plug up or go through that hole. It's starting to move there as Hagberg and Schweitzer coming in, going to be coming into your picture there. Both sweeping, both working, trying to bring it deep, trying to get it to the rings. Can they get it there? Good shot by Hagberg. Good sweep by Schweitzer and Hagberg. Good shot. Gets down for three. Fantastic shot, just sitting there at the top of the 12 foot, that outer blue ring. It's a scoring rock, and it is now successfully guarded their scoring shot rock. So we'll see as Weldon and Franey discussing what to do here. Franey looked at that rock on the left side, might just be conceding that they're going to have a hard time taking the one off, not giving up one in this end. They might just be trying to clear things out and sit with a scoring rock. We'll see what the plan is here for Franey and Weldon. As Weldon has shed the grippers as she's headed back down the ice, getting set for her team's final shot of this fifth and final rock on the way here for Weldon and Franey. Let's see what she does as she comes down the ice. Franey's set up on the left side there. Looks like they might want to try to come with a hit. He's set up right next to that rock on the far left side. They might be trying to come left to right. He might be calling negative ice. Not entirely sure. As Franey coming back down the ice, looks like they're going to sweep it here. They might be trying to draw around behind and get in and cut down those yellow rocks. It's Franey and Weldon discussing, talking, planning. Looks like they have a strategy. Looks like they have a plan. We'll see if the ice execute can help cooperate as Weldon gonna work left to right. Good slide by Weldon. Good delivery as Franey's on it. Franey on it. It looks like they are going to try to work left to right around those guards, try to draw behind, or maybe tap something up. Let's see. It looks like they're going to tap up. Let's see if they can get the tap to work. Tap once, and they don't get inside of that. They might have gotten a little bit inside of that, but not as much as they wanted. Hagberg and Schweitzer inspecting now, seeing if they're sitting two or sitting three, then talking about what they could do here with Hammer. They might be sitting three, not sure where that red rock on the left side is, if it's inside that yellow rock or not. Looks like the yellow rock is still in, which means Hagberg and Schweitzer now just need to throw a rock that's full blue, and they could have a 4-point end. We'll see what they do here. If yellow is in fact three, which it looks like they are, all they need to do is throw this rock to be full blue, and will be sitting four, and that will be a big momentum swing to put them up two as Schweitzer delivers her final rock down the right side. It looks like she wants to try to draw around the right hand side there. It needs to be fully in the blue circle for sure to have it clear and no questions. We'll see. Schweitzer and Hagberg both on it, sweeping as it works down the right side of your screen. They need to keep it around the guard, and they just need to settle it in the blue, and it looks like that's going to be good as Schweitzer and Hagberg sweep it in, and that looks like it's going to be four yellow. We're going to have a measurement coming, though, it looks like. So we got at least three yellow. We'll see if they get four here. We have a measurement here as Weldon goes to get the measurement tool, sets it on the ice to cool it and get it to the ice temperature, so that way it is most accurate. We'll see, folks. The measurement tool in curling, very precise. It's a set of metal bars with a small, delicate instrument on it. The instrument arm moves back and forth a little bit when it hits a rock, so it will be. So we'll see here as Weldon prepares to measure the yellow rock. She gets it out, sets it up, brings it in. So what happens is there's an arm now, and she's going to set that as close to zero as she can on the yellow rock and make note of the measurement as it passes over the yellow rock. So she's making note of the yellow rock, and that swings there. And we'll see as it comes around, coming around to the red rock, and it looks like that's going to be another yellow. That's 4 yellow there in the fifth end. That is a big end for Schweitzer and Hagberg in the fifth end to put them up 5-3 now. Big end by Schweitzer and Hagberg. Big steal there, or yeah, big win for them in the fifth end as we're heading to the sixth. Coming back down the ice, it is now 5-3. Weldon and Franey do have the hammer though, so we'll see what happens here as it looks like Franey and Weldon are going to declare their power play here in the sixth end, and what that means is it's set up. They set up their stones out wide this time instead of tight, and what that does is it enables the red team to score a little bit more. As we're going to jump over to sheet A and check in here on the Smith Johnson Chow Fowler game. It's currently Smith Johnson sitting 1 as Fowler prepares to deliver his last stone of this end. Anthony Fowler sliding out, coming down that right side, looking to work right to left. Maybe tap some things up or just draw down and take over as shot stone. That shot stone pretty well protected. So Chow Fowler just trying to get down and either get a point or just prevent Smith Johnson from getting multiple, and it looks like that's what their plan is. They're just going to try to set a guard here and prevent Smith Johnson from drawing down for multiple. We'll see what Smith Johnson does with their first stone here on sheet A. So we're wrapping up the fourth end here, or fifth end here for Smith Johnson and Chow Fowler. My apologies. Score is 1 end behind. On the end update, it is 2-2 though. Tight game over here on sheet A. As again, when we jump back over to sheet D, just a reminder, Franey and Weldon have declared their power play in this end. That means that they've set things up wide, working. Let's see what Smith and Johnson do here, as they're currently sitting 1 over on sheet A. Not sure if they're going to be able to get back in to get multiple there. We will see if they can do it. It's going to be a challenge for sure. As Smith working down that left side, sweeping furiously. Might just try to steal 1 here and guard things up a little bit more and leave Chow without a whole lot of angles to come down. And that looks like what they're going to try to do, just blocking things up as Gloria Chow has 1 shot left for the duo, for the team from Exmoor Curling Club. As Chow and Fowler discussing, deliberating, they need to try to clear that red shot stone out of there. They're currently sitting the next 4 stones, so if Chow can somehow clear that red out of there, that would leave them sitting multiple points, and that would be a big benefit for the team from Chicago, Illinois. 2 teams from Denver in here. Smith Johnson on sheet A. They've been undefeated so far, 5-0 in the quarterfinals this morning. They took down the team of Skebby and Rohrbacher. And then on sheet D, Weldon and Franey, also at Denver, 5-0, took down Allison and Allison earlier today, as well as Fowler and Chow have decided what they're going to do heading back down the ice, as we'll see what Gloria Chow does with her final shot of this fifth end. She's trying to come up with a big end here. She has to clear a very buried Smith Johnson Red Rock out and off of the button. It's currently sitting shot there. We'll see if she can do it. Challenging, very tricky shot coming back down this end. We'll see if Chow can deliver here. We'll see what her plan is as she's getting set, preparing to deliver. Looks like she wants to work right to left on the screen as she lines herself up. Looks like she wants to come down that right-hand side. So she's going to try to hit something into that shot rock over there on sheet A. Let's see, Fowler delivers, confident slide out, working down the right side, coming with some weight. She's going to try to hit something. Let's see if she can. Fowler's on it. He's sweeping. Anthony Fowler sweeping off it now, trying to make sure that it moves, gets it. He's going to catch the outside of that. Catch one, doesn't quite get in there enough as Smith Johnson score one here in the fifth end as we're headed to the sixth end. Chow Fowler will hold the hammer heading into the sixth end as we're going to jump back over to sheet D as we have a Weldon Franey power play here as Franey delivering his first stone, working down here, trying to get inside, getting around that guard, trying to protect, but also score. They gave up 4 in the last end to make this a 5-3 game. So working hard here are Weldon and Franey trying to score as many as possible. And so Schweitzer and Hagberg discussing what to do here. It looks like Hagberg wants to come down and maybe tap this yellow rock back into all those reds, try to clear some things out, hold on to this 2-point lead in the sixth end as we're coming back towards the warm room in this semifinal matchup. Hagberg, confident slide, heavy weight. He's bringing all of that and then some. Coming down, working down that left side, going to try to run some things back and create some chaos. And he's going to catch it just a little bit just catch it a little on the more on the outside than he was planning. It didn't move back left to right as much as he was hoping. And Weldon and Franey now have a chance to try to split the house. Folks, a split house is a curling term. You see those red rocks on the left. What Weldon and Franey are talking about doing is putting a rock over here on the right. So that way they are still sitting shots, still scoring with points, and Hagberg and Schweitzer can't come down and clear out all their scoring rocks. All they could do is set their rock in the center. So, big opportunity here after a 4-point end on the last one for Schweitzer and Hagberg. Weldon and Franey using their power play to their advantage, trying to split the house here, put it on the right hand side, and let's see if they can deliver. Franey settling in to the hack to deliver his second stone. Franey working down the center line, trying to get across to that right side. We'll see what the weight is. Weldon is off of it, not sweeping at all. Hagberg setting up, folks. Once the rock crosses that line through the middle of the house, Hagberg can sweep it and try to clear it out. Hagberg setting up 6 feet of fury now. Can he clear it out? Oh, it's a good sweep by Hagberg. Can he bring it out the back of the house? Not gonna quite get there. Split house for Franey and Weldon, a little deeper than they might have been planning, thanks to Hagberg's fierce sweeping there. 6 feet of fury, got it back into the back of the house. Good shot there by Franey. Good sweep by Hagberg, though, to make it not exactly what Franey and Weldon were looking for, as it looks like Schweitzer and Hagberg are just going to try to clear a lot of these rocks out on this left side. Hagberg has brought some weight on his past couple shots. Let's see the weight that he brings here. He's setting up. He's brought heavy weight, throwing it hard before. Let's see what he does. It's set up to be one heck of a shot. Hagberg explodes out of the hack, coming down the ice. Smooth release, though, despite the fierce shot. Hagberg now on it, sweeping, needs to hold it. They want to hit it exact. Looks like he was a little wide. It has to move. He's going to catch one and slide it on out. Doesn't get both, though. Hagberg, the rock might not have moved as much as he was hoping it was going to. That's a little tricky out there on the outside, folks. It's not going to curl as much out there as you get towards those wide edges of the sheet. That outer area that's close to the edge doesn't curl as much. It's played down a little bit less, and it's going to stay out there a little bit more. Hagberg just didn't get the curl that he was hoping for. As Weldon and Franey is now going to try to come down that far left side, wider than any shot we've seen yet today, and clear that yellow out and leave Franey and Weldon sitting 4 rocks in the house. Their response to a 4-point end last time from Schweitzer and Hagberg. Let's see if Franey can deliver with his last rock here. Franny sets up in the hack, explodes out. Heavy rock coming. Let's see. He's got to go way out wide and can't have it go too far. Franny on it, sweeping, trying to hold it on that line. Good rock by Franny. Let's see if it's going to catch it right. Good rock. Is it going to catch? Catches it on the inside, and it sits. Red sitting four. Potential big end for the duo from the for the dynamic duo from Denver. Schweitzer and Hagberg talking about what to do here. Need to try to cut this down, and it looks like they want to try to draw down there on the left side and sit inside of that red rock and just try to cut this down. They know they're going to concede points. The question is just how many will they give to this dominant Denver team? As Hagberg looking like he wants, looks like they talking about hitting some stuff down there. But it looks like they're going to try to draw under and cut things down a little bit. They've kind of resigned themselves that they're going to give up points here. They're just going to try to cut down how many points they give up. We'll see if Schweitzer can hit this. Not an easy shot, especially as the ice conditions have changed. It's a little more tricky to come down that center of the ice. We'll see what happens as Hagberg prepping the shot for his partner. Emily Schweitzer settles into the hack, goes through her pre-shot routine. Franny and Weldon discussing what they'll do should this shot be successful. If this shot is successful, it will put them in a spot where they're going to be looking to try to get maybe two if possible, as Schweitzer gracefully exits the hack, coming down the center of the ice. Smooth release, smooth rock on the way. Hagberg's on it though, sweeping. Might be a little lighter than they were hoping. Schweitzer on it now too. They're off it, waiting, waiting, seeing how it moves, seeing where it's going to go. Is Schweitzer and Hagberg back on it now? It looks like it went a little further to the left than maybe they were hoping, as it's going to try to settle into that pocket, as it's going to tick and roll out a little bit there, as that's going to be sitting 3 red right now, as Weldon and Franny are discussing what they'll do. It looks like Franny wants to try to hit and take it for 5. That would be a monster end if Weldon and Franny can successfully convert this shot. It is a very challenging shot. They're currently sitting 3. Weldon and Franny discussing here whether to go for it all here and go for 5, or if they should cut, or if they should just take 4. Franny really wants to go all in for 5. Not sure what the discussion is going in down there on the ice. Franny giving Weldon the line, it looks like, to go for 5. This is a big end here. 5 points is a monster swing as Weldon slides out the hack, delivers. The rock is on the way. Can she catch the inside of that yellow? She can't catch the outside. If she catches the outside, they're going to be in trouble. Is it going to get to the inside? It's starting to move. Good shot by Weldon. She caught the inside of it, as Weldon and Franny leave the 6th end with 2. We'll wait for an official score here. There's some discussion on whether it was 1 or 2 points. While we're waiting on that, we're going to jump over to Sheet A and check in with Chow and Fowler taking on Smith and Johnson. Smith and Johnson currently sitting at least 1 right now, as it looks like we're going to have a power play here in the 7th for Schweitzer and Hagberg. Schweitzer and Hagberg declaring a power play, trying to build on this, trying to build here in the 7th end, as Smith Johnson currently settling in. DJ Johnson settling in to deliver his final stone over on Sheet A, as DJ Johnson trying to come down. They're currently sitting 1. Let's see if they can sit 2. As Johnson slides out and delivers his final stone of this 6th end on Sheet A for the second Denver team. as Johnson working down that left side. Looks like they're trying to looks like they're trying to set a guard here on the left side to block things up. Cynthia Smith sweeping furiously, gets it in. It's over and in. Good shot by Smith or Johnson as that gets over, and it is on top of guarding. Nice hat for that shot rock for Smith and Johnson as they're looking to push it to a 2 point lead here. So we're still waiting on the score to be hung on sheet D. As soon as we have that update, we will let you know as Anthony Fowler settles in now for his final rock over on sheet A. Chow and Fowler are in a tricky position here going back down. They need to try to come down and they need to try to come down and get inside of that red rock, and that's going to be tricky to do. It does look like it was just one red in the sixth end, so that went from Weldon and Franey with a potential 4 pointer to now just scoring one, as that makes it a 5-4 game for Weldon and Franey heading into the seventh end, as Schweitzer and Hagberg now have the hammer going back away from the warm room, as Fowler sets a guard there on the left side, just making it difficult for Smith and Johnson to draw around, getting ready for Cynthia Smith's final shot. Again, that was 1 point over on sheet D for Weldon and Franey. They were sitting in a big way where they were potentially going to be sitting with three, maybe four, but a slightly missed shot cut them, and they cut themselves down to one. As Cynthia Smith settles in for her final rock on sheet A, she might try to draw down. There is some space there for her to draw down. She needs to be fully inside the red 4 foot circle. Let's see what she does here. Working down the left-hand side, working left to right. She might try to draw and be okay with it if this sits a little higher and just guards her one. Stealing one here would be a good move for Smith and Johnson, as it would put them up 4-2. Smith and Johnson. Cynthia Smith sets the guard there, kind of starting to block the hole. So, as again, just a reminder, when we go back to sheet D, we will have Schweitzer and Hagberg on the power play, as they are ahead 5-4 heading into the seventh end. 2 ends left here on sheet D. We're finishing up our sixth end here on sheet A, as Fowler and Chow discussing what their possible shots are. Chow looks like she wants to try to come down that left side, maybe tap their yellow rock down and in into a scoring position to tie this one up in the sixth end. Let's see what Cynthia Chow does here. As she starts walking back down the ice, getting ready. Anthony Fowler continuing to look, strategizing. This has been a back and forth battle here on sheet A. No one has taken multiple points in any of the ends. It's been tight, it's been hotly contested, and it looks like it's going to continue being that way here. As Chow settling into the hack now, getting prepared to throw her final stone, the hammer, last rock here over on sheet A in the sixth end. As let's see what Cynthia Chow does here, or Gloria Chow, my apologies. Gloria Chow coming down, working left to right here. Gloria Chow delivering down that left hand side. Good rock by Chow. Can it get the tap up? That is going to be the question. Chow working down the left hand side there, trying to tap that rock in. Catches it just on the left side. Good shot by Chow. Gets inside. What a shot by Chow. That looks like it's going to be one yellow. We'll wait for official confirmation here as they take a look at it. Not sure if we'll have a measurement. I'm being told it might be red. It's difficult to tell from this top angle as they're discussing, they're looking, but it does look like potentially one red despite a great shot from Gloria Chow. As they're clearing all the other rocks out, it looks like we might, yep, we have a measurement coming here as Anthony Fowler jogs over to grab the measurement tool. Not a. As we will see what this measurement is as Anthony Fowler sets it down, gets it set. As this is a tight one over here on sheet A, Chow Fowler trying to tie it up here, heading into the seventh end. We'll see if Cynthia or Gloria Chow was successful in tapping her yellow rock back in as they set the first measurement on the red rock. First rock set. So they're bringing it around. As it's tough to tell exactly what that was, but we'll get you updated. We're going to jump over to sheet D now, where the Schweitzer Hagberg power play is underway. They're currently sitting on a 1-point lead as Hagberg delivers his third rock of this end. Hagberg coming down, trying to work right to left to leave Schweitzer and Hagberg with a split. No, not trying to. Yes, trying to split the house here. Working right to left on the screen, as that was one red over on sheet A. So heading into the seventh end, Smith and Johnson now hold a 2-point lead on Chow and Fowler. So 2-point lead for Smith and Johnson over on sheet A. Schweitzer and Hagberg currently leading Weldon Franey by 1, and in the middle of their power play here in the seventh end. They currently have a split house as Weldon and Franey discussing, as Brianna Weldon settling into the hack, getting ready to deliver her final stone of this seventh end. It looks like we will have an eighth end, assuming things move along quickly. Let's see here. It looks like the seventh end will be the last end over on sheet A, as we have you have 90 minutes to start all 8 ends. Brianna Welding slides out, working left to right here. This might be the last end actually over here on sheet D. We'll see, as Brianna Weldon drawing down, gets inside with a great shot, as that leaves red sitting 1, but we are running up against a time crunch here on sheet D. This is the final end more than likely, unless Hagberg, if Hagberg and Schweitzer can't deliver. Let's see here. Schweitzer and Hagberg currently sitting on a 1-point lead. They need to deliver here and score to put this one away. There's 30 seconds left to finish this end and start a new end. As let's see if this can happen. The time is in effect here. Schweitzer delivers her final stone. Working left to right. Schweitzer and Hagberg trying to come down for one. That might be a little heavy though. Schweitzer delivers a rock that was a little too heavy, and we are tied now heading into the 8th end, as that's going to be 1 red for Weldon and Franey. Folks, we have an 8th end epic coming up here, all tied as 5-5 now here heading into the 8th end. As we'll see how this sets up here in the 8th end. 1 point for Weldon and Franey there in the 7th. Means Schweitzer and Hagberg are going to hold on to hammer here, heading into the final and 8th end. Schweitzer and Hagberg holding the hammer, tied at 5. Epic conclusion here as we get extra curling here over on sheet D, as we see Schweitzer and Hagberg set up with Hammer in the back of the house. As over on sheet A, we'll jump over there real quick to check in. It is the last end on sheet A. Chow and Fowler need to score 2 here to battle back and force an extra 8th end, folks. If you're not watching, if you were planning on jumping off, stay right here. We have exciting action here as we conclude our semifinal draw. Tell your friends, tell your family, get on and watch the curling action right now on sheet A, as we have Anthony Fowler delivering his first stone down the ice, trying to deliver. Here's Chow and Fowler down 2, but they have the hammer, they have a rock in scoring position, and they're setting some very nice guards to get started here, as Chow and Fowler working down that right side, trying to get around right to left, trying to get into a scoring position while also guarding their shot rock. Good shot by Anthony Fowler as that ends up on the edge of the 8-foot. As we're going to jump back over, as we're going to stay here for a minute and see what we have, as both of our games are in their final. Sheet D is on its definite final end. Sheet A is potentially on its final one as well. So we're going to jump over to sheet D now, take a look at that. Over on sheet D, we have Schweitzer and Hagberg, the duo out of Chaska, Minnesota, been battling here. They're 4-2 so far in this tournament. They were 2-2 leaving pool play, meaning they had to win a qualifying tiebreaker and then a quarterfinal matchup. They battled, and they are here in this semifinal matchup, tied with Hammer against the duo out of Denver, Brianna Weldon and Sean Franey. As Weldon and Franey just missed a shot in the 6th end, and instead of taking multiple points, they only left with 1, and that put them in a dubious position heading into the 7th end, where Weldon and Franey managed to steal to force a final and 8th extra end, technically. So we are outside of the regulation stretch right now, as Sean Franey settles in to deliver his first rock, coming back towards the warm room in the 8th end. Franey delivers down that right side line, going to try to draw down right to left, sit on that shot rock in the back of the house. Good shot by Franey, good line. Weldon's starting to sweep it, staying on it now. Needs to get it around that guard. Is it going to get around the guard? It's around the guard by a nose hair, and it's onto the shot rock. Great shot by Franey. Taps the shot rock just back. Excellent delivery by Franey. Just snuck it around the guard and takes over shot rock. Weldon and Franey currently sitting in control of this game, up one, sitting the 1 point on the rock. Over on sheet A, Chow and Fowler still sitting 3, as we're going to jump over there real quick as Anthony Fowler prepares to deliver his second rock of this potentially final end, sliding out, delivering. They are sitting 3. If they score 3 or more here, they win this one, and they're on to the final. Gloria Chow now on it, sweeping hard, sweeping ferociously, trying to keep it around the guards, get it into the proper position. Anthony Fowler on it now, sweeping, trying to bring it down into a scoring and guarding position. Good shot by Fowler, tapping things back and just setting another guard over here on sheet A. On sheet D, we just had some collisions and rocks moving around as Sean Franey and Brianna Weldon are preparing to try to guard their shot rock and keep it as the winning rock right now. That would be the winning rock for this matchup on sheet D, as DJ Johnson and Cynthia Smith are trying to find a way to clear that shot rock off and put their red rock into a scoring position. Cynthia Smith and DJ Johnson talking here. Looks like they're talking about trying to tap back that center rock into a scoring position. We'll see, though, because they're talking about maybe a draw now on the far right side. Let's see what they do here, as it looks like they're going to try to work. Tough to tell exactly what they're doing. Lots of things being discussed. We'll see, as over on sheet D, Weldon and Franey delivering what looks to be a guard. So they're trying to work right to left and set a guard over there. Folks, we'll jump over there as that winds down, but we're staying here in this 7th end where we have some exciting action, and it's wrapping up as Chow and Fowler trying to score the first multi-point end of the game, and if they can score 3, it's a big one, as it would punch their ticket to the championship game Meanwhile, on sheet D, our featured sheet, we have an epic battle right now between the duo from Chaska and the duo from Denver. Schweitzer Hagberg currently with Hammer, but conceding 2 points now to Weldon and Franey as as Blake is rock his second rock over on sheet D as DJ Johnson settles in to prepare to throw his second rock on sheet A's. DJ Johnson coming down, going to try to tap. Looks like he's going to try to tap that center rock back a little bit. As DJ Johnson taps the center rock, but not on the line that he was hoping, but he does tap it over into a guarded position where it has successfully potentially cut down Chow and Fowler from 3-1, which is a big move in itself because Smith and Johnson don't need to score 2 points. They don't need to score one. They just need to make sure Chow and Fowler don't score two. So Chow and Fowler talking now about what to do, whether they put that guard back or whether they draw back underneath. We're going to jump over to sheet D here as we have Sean Franey and Brianna Weldon preparing. Sean Franey preparing to deliver another stone here. I believe this is his last stone here on sheet D. Franey coming down. Franey and Weldon currently sitting. Shot rock would send them through to the finals, but they need to guard this shot rock and they need to keep it covered. Franey trying to work right to left to cover things up, cover their shot rock from the right side there, but also while getting on top of that yellow rock. Great shot by Franey. Weldon doesn't need a whole lot of sweeping. Taps it, might have tapped it just a little bit too hard as Hagberg looks like he is salivating at that big opening he has now to come down and clear out the shot rock. Let's see if he can. He might even be trying to get both of those red rocks on sheet D, as we'll see what Blake Hagberg does here with his second rock, with his last rock on sheet D. As over on sheet A, Anthony Fowler just delivered a rock down, and that puts Chow and Fowler sitting comfortably too. We'll see what DJ Johnson and Cynthia Smith do here as they prepare to deliver their final rock. Cynthia Smith talking with DJ Johnson. They're going to try to clear one of these rocks out. If they can get both of them, though, that would be best for them. If they can clear both rocks out, we see Blake Hagberg coming down the right-hand side here. It looks like he's going to try to double these if possible. Hagberg sweeping his own stone, doing it all. Marathon Man he's going to get the one. Will he get two? He catches it on the outside. Gets the one. Can't get both as he puts the red rock back as shot rock as Brianna Weldon is now talking about using her last rock to try to guard up that shot rock. As let's see if they can do it here. High drama here as we have both sheets wrapping up at the same time. We're going to try to get you a view of both shots if possible. We're going to stay with our featured sheet right now as Brianna Weldon needs to deliver the best shot possible. Let's see what she's going to do here as Cynthia Smith settles into the hack. Over on sheet A, we're going to jump over to sheet A real quick and see what she does there. It's both these women taking their time on both sheets. Cynthia Smith slides, delivers. It looks like she's going to try to come down and clear some rocks out. We'll see if she can successfully do that. DJ Johnson out to sweep. We'll get back over. That looks like it's going to be a guard on sheet D. We'll jump back over to sheet D here in a second. Cynthia Smith going to get 1 and 2 and not quite roll inside, but might have tapped it inside. That's currently 2 for Chow and Fowler on sheet A from the looks of it. That's a big development over there on sheet A as the guard for Weldon and Franey didn't get into the position they were hoping for, leaving Emily Schweitzer with a hit for the win. Emily Schweitzer needs to come down and just hit that shot rock, clear it out. If she can successfully do that, she and her partner Blake Hagberg will be through to the finals. Over on sheet A, Gloria Chow and Anthony Fowler talking. Gloria Chow with the hammer. If she can deliver a third scoring rock, she and her teammate will win. Pressure on for both the ladies in the final rock here. Let's see if Emily Schweitzer can deliver. The pressure is building here. Many are standing in the warm room watching Schweitzer prepare to deliver. She slides, she's out. Rock is on the way. This is for a trip to the championship here at the Southern Mixed Doubles Cashspiel. Schweitzer's on it with the sweep. Hagberg joins her with the sweep. Both are sweeping furiously. They need to sweep. It has to go. It has to go. It has to get there. Is it going to get over there? It might get there. They have to hold it. She missed. Not quite enough. They couldn't hold it on line, as that's going to be one for Weldon and Franey to win in the eighth. Weldon and Franey win in the eighth end here in dramatic fashion, as Emily Schweitzer and Blake Hagberg couldn't hold it on line as it dove into their guard. That's a final here in the eighth, as Weldon and Franey take down Schweitzer and Hagberg by a score of 6-5. So we're going to jump back over to sheet A as Gloria Chow is preparing, trying to deliver a 3-point knockout blow here in the seventh end. If she can deliver this, that will be the win for Chow and Fowler. We have one participant, as Weldon and Franey have punched their ticket to the championship game with a dramatic 1-point eighth end win. And that's a final over on sheet D, ladies and gentlemen, in the eighth. As let's see what happens here for Gloria Chow. Gloria Chow needs to come down. She has to sit inside of that red rock on the left side there. They're currently sitting 2 from the looks of it. This is pressure. We have 2 shots here with a lot of pressure on both skips here at the end, or both ladies throwing last rocks here. Let's see if Gloria Chow can deliver and punch their ticket to the finals, or if we'll be dealing with an extra eighth end here on sheet A. Chow carefully lining up her shot. It looks like she's going to try to work through that port on the right side, work right to left, and draw down and in. Gloria Chow taking stock, making sure, carefully measuring. The pressure is on. The action is shifted. Everyone's behind sheet A now. There is no one on the sheet D side. Gloria Chow's coming out with a hit, ladies and gentlemen. She's bringing the heat here, trying to bring the weight and blow it up. They need to hold it. Anthony Fowler is on it, sweeping furiously. Needs to hit it. Can they get there? They get there. Gloria Chow hits it, sticks, and that's going to be 3 for Chow and Fowler. Gloria Chow, with ice in her veins, says, I don't need to draw. I'm going to hit. And she brings the heat to hit, score, and win with a 3-point eighth end. Well done by all our participants, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you for joining us here in our semifinal game. We are going to be back at 2 o'clock for championship action here. We're going to have Gloria Chow and Anthony Fowler, the Exmoor Curling Club in Chicago, Illinois representatives, taking on Emily Schweitzer and Gloria Chow and Anthony Fowler will be taking on Brianna Weldon and Sean Franey out of Denver, who are 6-0 and looking to claim victory here at the Southern Mixed Doubles Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here at the Charlotte Curling Club. For everybody here and the Charlotte Curling Club, all our sponsors, thank you for joining us. We'll see you at 2.